Hi everybody, it's your girl Sarah again. I am here to discuss some bariatric sports nutrition with you. The topic of this video is what to do when you are not hungry, but you need some sort of nutrition. I'm experiencing this problem today, as I do on many days, but particularly today. I worked out fasted this morning. I haven't eaten since around 8 p.m. last night. It's around 2 p.m. In the afternoon now, and I'm still not really hungry. I did a hot yoga class and a cardio circuit training class this morning. So I worked out for about an hour and 45 minutes. Was exposed to some pretty significant heat stress. I sweat a lot, or what is relatively a lot for me. So my first piece of advice to all of you would be to make sure that you are not dehydrated. It seems kind of counterintuitive because a lot of people say, oh, if you're hungry, maybe you're dehydrated. But maybe you're dehydrated if you're not hungry, and your body really wants to prioritize getting liquids. Of course, you can drink liquids with calories in them, with sugars and proteins and fats if you want. But how do we decide the best way to hydrate ourselves, and are we going to have meal replacement in the form of liquid? Of course, you could just drink a regular ass protein drink. It's not very attractive to me always, and usually if I'm not hungry, I don't want a protein drink either. Sometimes, or most of the time now, I put protein powder in my coffee, and for people who really want their coffee regardless, that's a good incentive because you're going to drink your coffee anyway. Put the protein in there and you'll get your 30 grams. I like Premier Protein, that has 30 grams for 2 scoops. Sometimes that makes the coffee a little viscous, but you'll figure out your measurements. I just use about 12 ounces of coffee and 2 scoops of protein powder. You could experiment with flavors and stuff like that. It's a good way to get your protein in if that's what you want to focus on. It's not very complete nutrition. There's vitamins and stuff in there, but it doesn't really have carbs or fat in any significant way. You're just getting your protein. So if that's what you need, you should go for it. And if you can get that down, go do it. If that doesn't seem attractive to you, there are clear protein drinks. I recently tried this one. It's Gatorade Zero with 10 grams of protein. It has 50 calories. 10 grams of protein is not a lot, and I don't personally think it tastes that good. It does kind of taste like milk because it is whey protein. This one was Cool Blue flavored. I tend to like citrus flavors, or maybe coconut, but I don't think Gatorade makes that. But there was no citrus flavor available when I went looking on Amazon for that. Of course, there are a lot of other clear protein, hydration, electrolyte situations out there. If you search for them, I've had ones that I thought tasted better than Gatorade, and there's ones that have more protein than 10 grams, 15, 20 grams. It's not a ton, but it is something, and it will get you hydrated because it's liquid, so that's good. Of course, you want to drink just plain water throughout the day, and if you know you're going to be working out for a while, try to front load your hydration. Drink some water beforehand. I know that it's difficult for a lot of bariatric patients to front load their liquid and their eating or food, protein, whatever it is, because it can be difficult to just have that in your smaller stomach when you're trying to work out. I know for the first 3 or so months, it was really hard for me personally to drink more than a couple ounces of water and then get into a workout in a matter of a few minutes. Any sort of inversion would give me pretty intense feelings of acid reflux or any kind of reflux, and it would feel like it wants to come up. It was too much in my stomach. And a lot of you may have that same experience depending on how long it's been since you had surgery. I would drink it slowly. And if you're a little bit past the initial phase and you can tolerate your liquids before you work out, I would do that just to make sure that you don't get dehydrated during your workouts. It's very important for a bariatric athlete who may not be carrying around as much fluid because of the restriction to get your hydration in. Now, if you've already worked out and you're dehydrated, start drinking your fluids as early as you feel comfortable, and do as much as you can, a couple ounces and then a couple ounces in another few minutes. It gets uncomfortable for me after about 4 ounces of liquid, and that's about how much my stomach is supposed to hold, right? After you get certain weight loss surgeries, your surgeon will tell you, a 4-ounce portion of whatever. If it's solid food, I'm supposed to be able to eat like 4 to maximum 6 ounces of food. And of course, the liquid goes through your stomach quicker depending on if your stomach is empty or not. And my stomach is empty right now, so I can drink, about 4 ounces of liquid, and then, in 3 or so minutes, drink another 4 ounces of liquid. It's a challenge, and sometimes you have to be patient with it, but that's what you got to do. I don't recommend trying to get all your nutrition needs met from liquids and protein supplements. We have to try to eat some real food too. I'm really not feeling it today, but I have just rehydrated a little bit, and even though it's almost 2 o'clock, I feel ready for lack of a better term, breakfast. And I think that I'll probably try to eat 2 eggs and a slice of turkey bacon. Not that much protein, less than 20 grams in there, but what are you going to do if you also have protein in your coffee? I already had some coffee, so I'm not going to drink more. We, with our tiny stomachs, have to make sure that we are not having too much of an intake of caffeine or other stimulants like that. Depending on how you tolerate it, it can lead to dehydration. It can lead to being overstimulated. We don't want to super OD on the diuretics and go around sniffing pre-workout and stuff like that. Let the motivation come from within. But a little caffeine probably never hurt nobody, if that's what it's going to take to motivate you. I would say if you're having a really hard time getting your solid food in, my favorite thing for that is a string cheese. I eat low-fat string cheese quite frequently. One of them has like 7 grams of protein. It's not a ton, but it is only 1 ounce, and probably you can eat it even if you're not hungry. I know it feels a little bit counterintuitive because being somebody who has struggled with obesity or being overweight, you have probably been told, oh, don't eat when you're not hungry, don't eat when you're not hungry, only eat when you're hungry. I guess, unfortunately, not that it necessarily matters, but weight loss surgery is not like that all the time. You might not be hungry all the time, but if you are working out, if you are an aspiring athlete, if you are an athlete, if you're an obese athlete, because you can be an obese athlete, you need to take in calories. You need your body to repair itself. You need all sorts of stuff like that. You don't want to lose muscle mass because your body is just cannibalizing itself. That's not what we want here. And you need it to perform your best. So if you've been working out a lot, you need something, right? And I'm not an expert. And if you're really struggling with this, I would recommend consulting an expert, whether that be your surgeon or your regular doctor. And not that I am the authority on this, like I'm saying, but I've done a lot of research, and I've been researching nutrition basically my entire life because I've been struggling with obesity for my lifetime, and I'm now 34 years old. But recently I've been doing a lot of research on bariatric sports nutrition. And, the United States has more than 300 million people in it, and 60% or something like that of us are obese. And according to my research, which has been relatively extensive, I have only found one person in the entire United States claiming to work extensively and specifically with bariatric sports nutrition. And not only is there only one person who specifically claims that they are able to do this, but the expense of working with that person is exorbitant. Something like you have to commit to 5 sessions, and 5 sessions are $900. Not most people are going to want to commit to that or afford that when we have a lot of medical bills, probably from getting surgery and the expense of keeping up with all the aftercare and stuff like that. It just doesn't seem that feasible. And it's not like that person doesn't deserve the money, because they probably do. It's a very niche field, and it's something that I'm very interested in. And here I am getting my start with that. The most that people want to tell you when you are doing your homework and putting in your research is, as a bariatric athlete, you need extra protein and extra hydration and some carbohydrates, right? Because if you talk to your surgeon is going to say, oh, don't eat carbs. The secret to not gaining weight or to losing weight is just like being in ketosis, not eating carbs. Just don't eat carbs. I've spoken to my surgeon about it. Just don't eat carbs, not even a little oatmeal. Doesn't matter if you're working out, just don't do it. I don't know. It's probably the best way to lose fat. Maybe. It depends on your body. That's what your surgeon says. That's what your doctor says. Being in ketosis means that it's a fat burning area to be in for your body. But training and literally starving is not the best combination, and it's catabolic to muscle. It definitely is. And when you're in such a caloric deficit already, out of necessity, because this is what your body does now since you've had weight loss surgery, you are going to struggle as an athlete and struggle to not even build, but to maintain the muscle mass that you already have. And the last thing we want is to further destroy our metabolism by losing muscle mass. The whole starving thing kind of defeats the purpose. And it's really frustrating, because I feel like our surgeons and our weight loss specialists and our obesity related doctors, and even regular nutritionists, they kind of want us to eat as little as possible. I've sensed that. Even when I had a normal stomach and I went to a nutritionist, I was put on basically a starvation diet for somebody who was 100 pounds overweight, and being active. And I don't think that's appropriate. Have I gotten absolutely ideal results doing things my way? I'm not sure. Should I be losing weight and body fat faster? I think so, after having 80% of my stomach removed. I do think so. But what can you do more than eating only 800 to 1,000 calories a day, and tracking your macros? I don't think that it's the greatest thing to eat 1,000 calories a day and not eat carbs and work out for an hour or two and just live like that forever. I don't think your body likes that. I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think it's the best thing. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not an expert. But it's just not the best thing for you. And I realize I'm kind of rambling here, but it is something that's extremely frustrating for me, that we do not have specialists to address these needs for us in the bariatric community. And I'm aware that a lot of people who have gotten bariatric surgery, any kind of weight loss surgery, are not necessarily going to be the type of people who are going to become athletes. I agree that it is a particular challenge, and not everybody's going to be up for that challenge. Not everybody is going to want to be part of that. And that's absolutely fine. Everybody has to choose the journey that's right for them. Everybody's body is different. But having made the choice to commit to the weight loss lifestyle, I believe that you might as well be active. And working out, exercise, vigorous physical activity, it reduces all-cause mortality. There's real studies on that. And it doesn't matter if you are obese or not. You can be an obese athlete. You can be an active obese person. It still reduces mortality rates. It still will reduce your risks for a lot of different obesity-related illnesses. Even if you stay obese your entire life, but you remain active. And you have to have the correct nutrition and hydration to support that. And I don't know, the medical community does not really want to hear that. They don't want to support proper nutrition for the lifestyle. They want to eat as little as you can and be skinny, right? Which we all know is bullshit. And if you were looking at my numbers and my blood work and all my tests from me being my highest weight of close to 270 pounds, there was nothing wrong with me. I didn't have sleep apnea. I didn't have high blood pressure. I didn't have any heart problems. I don't have plaque in my arteries. I realize I'm a relatively young person, but I don't have those problems. No diabetes. My A1C is perfect, despite even having strong genetic predispositions for diabetes and that kind of stuff. And the medical community wants to assume that you have that. And I'm not saying that obesity does not lead to those kind of things. I'm saying that there are tons of things that you can do to reduce your risk for those kind of things. And it's not fair to assume that eating as little as possible is going to be the thing that reduces your risk. Proper nutrition and proper body movement and exercise go hand in hand, of course. And starving is not the answer. It just isn't. And it's very frustrating because I feel like we're told to starve ourselves, no matter what it is that we're doing. My surgeon and most of my doctors still will have me do that. Drink a couple of protein drinks, eat an egg, and call it a day. A lot of people don't want to believe that you're doing what you say you're doing when you're obese, because there's no possible way that you're overweight and you're working out every day, right? A lot of people will disbelieve you if you say that. And people's bodies be like they are. Not everybody's body is the same, of course. We all have differences. We all have strengths and weaknesses. And bodies will act like they will act. And you've got to condition yours to do what you want it to do. And it's important that you understand what you want your body to do, and then go ahead with the proper nutrition in order to help your body do that. And what you want is a high protein diet, but in order to get that protein, you have to ingest it somehow, right? If that's eating it or drinking it. And you should have some carbohydrates depending on what you're doing. And you should be getting proper hydration. Now, if you want to drink a sports drink, I don't recommend drinking like a regular ass Gatorade or something like that, because the 30 or 40 grams of sugar is really too much sugar. Nobody really needs that amount of sugar, especially not a bariatric patient or somebody who's obese. I know it would make me sick. I haven't gotten what they call dumping syndrome myself, because I wouldn't go around drinking 30 grams of sugar like that. But people do get it, and it's apparently really unpleasant, and you want to avoid that. You don't want to just hand your body a bunch of sugar and say, okay, now deal with that. But if your body can tolerate like a banana, I would go for it. I can hardly, after more than 6 months, I can hardly eat a whole banana. Even when I am hungry, I have to kind of be a little patient about it. But that's about my maximum capacity in my stomach. I can eat a banana, and that's it. So sometimes I'll eat half a banana and a little peanut butter. It's calorie dense, but if you're really having trouble getting your calories in and eating, I also would avoid stimulants like caffeine and things that are going to suppress your appetite if you're worried about being able to eat enough. But I guess basically my point is listen to your body, but if it says it's not hungry and you've been moving around a lot and you've been working out, try your best to do what you can to get your protein in at least. If that means drinking a protein drink, if that means trying to force feed yourself a Greek yogurt, even if you could get half, eating a string cheese, eating half a cup of cottage cheese, eating one egg. There's lots of ways you can prepare eggs. Eating a couple egg whites, or having the clear protein Gatorade drinks with electrolytes. If you can get 4 ounces of liquid in an hour, then do that for 12 hours that you're awake. But I would recommend trying to do the 4 ounces thing every half hour, because you really need to hydrate and replenish your fluids if you're working out and you're not getting that much, especially not eating vegetables and fruits and stuff that contain a lot of fluid. I know that it's hard for me to eat fruits and vegetables, especially raw ones and ones that are high in water content, because it's just very heavy in my small stomach and it makes me uncomfortable, and I don't want to feel weighed down like that. So I hope you guys like the advice. Like I said, I'm not a professional in the industry yet, but I have a lifetime worth of experience with this type of thing. It's all personal experience, and I hope you can relate. Have a great day and good luck. Love you all.